What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all the lines of sight, wall runs, as well as other secret spots that I know of on every map in Black Ops 3. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the map Redwood. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so Redwood was one of those maps where initially I was really disappointed because I just couldn't find a ton of really good spots, but I spent some time to really search through it, and I did manage to find some excellent lines of sight and wall run spots on this map. So the first one I'm going to show you here is if the enemy is camped up on the right hand side of that broken wall there. Doesn't work if they're on the left hand side, it only works if they're on the right hand side. If you come all the way back to where the A flag is and jump on this vehicle here, you can just very faintly see them through here. You can try a jump shot as well, which will open up more of that for you. But just by standing here, you should be able to see just a little bit of them right through there, and you'll be able to pick them off. This one is very situation dependent, like they have to be right in that spot, otherwise you're just standing here useless. But if you know somebody's camping there and you're coming off the A spawn here, pick up a free kill by using this spot. Now if you know your enemies are coming from over in this area over here, and you want to be able to challenge them without just standing out in the open, or yeah, basically your only option is to stand out in the open here, you can just jump up on top of this rock right here, and you can look over top like this. They'll barely be able to see you through here because you have all this foliage in front of you, so it's pretty easy to hide with that, and you can easily shoot them through there without losing any bullet damage by shooting through these trees. Now right here is just a wall run spot that I like to use as a check spot, but maybe in like hardcore or something, or with a sniper rifle. If you're confident enough with a sniper rifle, you might be able to get the shot off here as well. If you jump up nice and high on this wall, there you go. You get a great line of sight into that window. And you are able to see who's there, and like I said, in hardcore you'll be able to get a shot off through there. In core, I highly doubt with a regular gun you'll be able to get enough shots off to get a kill, but you might want to try it anyways. Also right here is just a wall run spot that is not super obvious at first sight, but it is quite useful in some situations. You got to be aware that you are very exposed by doing that, but it just doesn't look like you're able to wall run this giant log that's laying down, and you can in fact do that. So it might be a nice sneaky way to get you around through here without your enemies seeing you, because typically they're looking more like on the ground like this if they're over here, or if they're over in that area, they're not really paying too much attention to this wall or this log right here. And it doesn't really look like you can wall run it, but you definitely can. Now this next spot is if you have enemies that are coming from over where the A flag area is, you can actually just jump up on this rock right here, and you can look through all of this foliage right here. And just like that previous spot I showed you there where I was looking through the foliage, it's really hard to see you through this, but it's very easy for you to see your enemies through this just by moving around slightly to get a better line of sight. Now getting back over by the bunker here, you can jump up on this part of the wall right here. So you just jump up onto this area here, and what this does is it opens up a line of sight to that bomb site, which is right down there. You can see a little bit towards where the bomb site is, which is a great line of sight. One thing to keep in mind though is you are obviously very exposed to anybody that comes to this window. You're basically screwed if somebody comes to that window. So you want to make sure you have control over that before doing this, or just use this as a really quick check spot over towards the bomb there. It also gets you a bit of a line of sight to where that little bridge is, and you might be able to catch people that are coming through that area. Now if you don't want to expose yourself quite so much, but you still want a line of sight towards that bridge, you can jump on top of this generator right here, and you get a great line of sight to the bridge. You don't get that line of sight towards the bomb site, but you're also not exposed to anybody in the window there. Now on top of this red truck over here, you can come onto the hood of the truck, and you can jump up and check that window. You might be able to pop a few shots off towards a sniper or something like that, or if you have a sniper rifle, you might be able to get a jump shot on them or something. But it's just more so a check spot for me. I use this as a check spot. You can just jump up, see if they're there. Unfortunately, you can't get a line of sight without jumping onto that window, but it's still a decent enough spot to jump and have a good look at that window. Now, if you back up all the way to the roof of the truck, you can also use this as a check spot over towards that area right there. And you can also, once again, pick off a jump shot, potentially or possibly. I don't know, I mixed those two words up. Either way, you can use that as a check spot. Also, if you jump up super high, you can see if someone's camping behind these yellow barrels here, because sometimes they will. They'll just aim towards there, and they'll try and lock people down. You might be able to jump up and just pick them off through there really, really easily. Now, right on this corner here, this is a situation where you're almost always going to have a guy at this rock and a guy at that water tank or whatever that thing is right there. And they're going to be battling it out, and this is a more or less fair gunfight right here. I guess the guy at the rock has a slight height advantage over the person there. A great thing that you can do is use this tree to your advantage if you're rushing that person. Like if you don't have an assault rifle and your SMG just is outclassed at this range by any assault rifle, a great way to take them off guard a lot of times, if you can manage to get across here, is wall run on this, and it kind of like slingshots you around behind them. And a lot of the times they just won't expect that. Like they might see you dart past there and then they won't know what you're doing. And you'll just appear from way up here and you'll be moving so much. You'll be such a hard target to hit. And you can often take them off guard that way. This works even better going the other way because they have the advantage slightly, like I said. You can kind of run back here, take cover from this tree. They'll wonder what's going on, but they usually won't come out of cover there. Jump up as high as you can on this tree. Kind of screwed it up there. You need to have a little bit of forward momentum, but jump up as high as you can on this tree, and there you go. You kind of like slingshot yourself around here, and you can jump shot and destroy these people as they're looking towards this area, wondering where you just went. You'll be popping up from up here. Another thing that I find really handy when you do have a person that's really locking this down right here, this works in a lot of different game modes. Usually they're crouched down like this to maximize or minimize the target that they're showing to the guy at the rock there. They're not usually standing up like this because they're exposing way too much to anybody that might potentially come through there. So right now, they're not watching anywhere up here. They're simply watching this rock. So a great way to take them off guard, if you can get over to this area here, is jump up high on this wall run, and you can jump right over top of them, and they won't even see you because they're looking like this, like I said. They won't see you popping up from up here. It's an excellent way to take them off guard. Even better, well, I don't know if it's even better, but a slightly different approach to this is if you're at this rock and you know somebody's posted up there and they have that head glitch, and you don't want to challenge them there and you don't want to try the tree jump, you can actually wall run on the side of this rock, jump up onto this, and just do that exact same move on them, and a lot of the times they'll have no idea what hit them. It's a really effective strategy. Just be aware, if you have people mid-map, it's very likely they'll be able to pick you off as you try to do that wall run. Now, a lot of the times when people are in that broken bunker right there, and we're playing like domination, or it can be a lot of different game modes. That is a power position. You'll have people that sit like right in that corner there. If you can get to the water, a great way to challenge them is hug all the way up towards here, and just get to the point where you're standing up. You can strafe over, get a great line of sight on them, crouch, you have perfect cover, stand up, you have a great line of sight on them again, and you can easily use this as cover, and this gives you a great advantage over them because they don't usually look for people that are standing right along this edge right here. Now, if you have enemies that are in this bunker area right here, they're standing kind of in that doorway, and you're over towards this bridge and you're attacking them from this direction, and your middle is safe, this is the key, and your middle area is safe, you're not going to get shot from somebody in the middle, you jump up on top of this railing and back off to the right point, which will be right back here, you actually get a line of sight into that bunker area right there. So that is quite a cool line of sight. You'll easily be able to pick them off through there, and they'll have absolutely no clue what hit them there. Alright, now for my favorite line of sight that I was able to find on this map. For a lot of different game modes, this is a very key position up on that platform up there, and whoever controls that often controls this entire side of the map. And there is a bomb site right behind this big tree as well, so it's very common in search and destroy and demolition. You'll see people up on this platform here, and they have the height advantage, so if you try to challenge them from the yellow barrels here, they know exactly where you are, they're usually pre-aiming you, you're going to die. Or if you try to challenge them from over here, you don't have very much cover, you're going to die. A great way to pick those guys off with a sniper rifle, and they'll have no clue what hit them. Jump on this rock where the C flag is, and look at that. Great line of sight through the trees here. It's highly unlikely they'll ever see you unless maybe they have a thermal sight, and you can very clearly see them just by moving slightly back and forth to have a look through those cracks. Look at that line of sight you get. It is amazing. Now, pretty much everybody knows and expects you to wall run through this way if you want to get over there really quickly and you don't want to take this route right here. So they'll just pre-aim this wall run and you'll be an easy kill for them. A lot of people don't know you can actually wall run on the outside of this. You can wall run out to the tree right here. And there you go. You get around like that. It definitely helps to have Afterburner equipped there because you do have to do a lot of transitions there. But it does work pretty effectively. And a lot of times it'll take them off guard because they just won't be ready for you. They'll be looking over here and you'll pop up over here. Obviously, if they're really locking this down, they can easily snap to you. So it's not like a perfect spot to wall run around. It just gives you a little bit of a different option. Alright, so pretty much everybody at this stage in the game's life cycle knows that you could wall run underneath that tree there on that really obvious wall spot there. Some people didn't know that, but I will show you a chain that actually works really effectively to get across to the other side of the map undetected. Hopefully I can do this on the first try. I'm not saying it's really easy to do by any means, but it is something that is really cool to do if you can pull it off. So you just jump around, you can wall run on that tree below there, you wall run around this way, you can jump up to this wall run from here, you can jump to this tree if you want, and you can easily get to this side of the map nearly undetected. Obviously if they're sitting right here waiting for you to wall run under there, you're screwed, but it's just something that is really cool to know that you can actually pull that off and you can wall run on that tree way back there. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out is you can wall run on the bottom part of this tree down here, like underneath the catwalk, but I haven't really been able to find a practical use for it. So I'll just show that you can do it. You can't really go anywhere if you're coming from this direction. You can't quite jump to that direction there. So basically your only option is to jump back up to this wall run right here. So it really isn't the most practical thing, but I thought I'd point it out. Maybe you can find a practical use for it. Also, just like that spot on the other side, you can actually wall run on the outside this way. But now you have two different obstacles to deal with, both of these trees. So it is a little bit difficult, but it is something you can definitely try. So you can jump straight to this tree, wall run around this way, wall run around this tree, and there you go. You get around this way, which just might get you a little bit of a sneakier route to get around there. But again, like if they're really paying attention over here, they'll just pick you off real easy. Now, over by the A flag here, if you're going to attack or defend the A flag and you know enemies are on the A flag, most people will just walk right up like this, and they still have the advantage in this gunfight, but a slightly better way is to crouch and come through this way right here. They can still shoot through this, so you're not like entirely protected by being here, you're just exposing a little bit less of yourself. Now, right over here, if you have enemies that are coming from over by the A flag, you can actually jump on this little thing here that's laying down. I don't even know what it is, this little metal thing. It is a little bit difficult to hit this ledge without accidentally mantling all the way up on this, but if you do, you can crouch, and there you go. You get a nice little line of sight over here, and they don't usually expect this. This is your best option for cover while looking from this direction over towards that direction. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Maps Exposed. Let me know in the comment section below which one of the maps you'd like me to cover next, and I've been noticing a lot of people asking for maps that I've already covered, so I'll put all of those maps on screen right here. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.